Have you ever achieved something meaningful and stayed quiet about it? You delivered results, you solved a problem, you made a difference, and when the moment came to talk about it, you minimized it. It was nothing. It was just my job. It was a team effort. Meanwhile, someone else confidently explained their contribution, and they were remembered for it. They were seen as the driver of the work. They were seen as the leader of the idea, not because they did more, but because they communicated more clearly. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to talk about your wins at work without sounding arrogant, without feeling like you are bragging. Hi, I am Marian, and on this channel, I share lessons from my own journey and from my book, Breaking Through, the Immigrant's Handbook for Thriving in the American Workplace. These conversations are designed to help immigrant professionals understand how workplaces actually work so we can grow, contribute, and lead with confidence. And today we are talking about something many professionals quietly struggle with: how to talk about your wins without feeling like you are bragging. Many of us were raised with a strong value system. We were taught to be humble, to stay grounded, to let our work speak for itself. Those values are beautiful, but there is a misunderstanding many of us carry into professional environments. We believe that doing good work is enough, and I've said this in several videos, other videos of mine. We believe that doing good work is enough, that if we perform well, someone will notice. But organizations don't operate that way. Workplaces are busy environments. Leaders manage multiple priorities. Teams move quickly. Projects evolve constantly. And in that fast-moving environment, leaders rely on clear signals of value. They rely on people who can clearly explain what they worked on, what problem they solved, and what results were achieved. So here is the truth. Talking about your wins is not bragging. It's clarity. And clarity is essential for career growth. If people don't understand what you contributed, they cannot recognize it. If they cannot recognize it, they cannot reward it. And if they cannot reward it, your growth, unfortunately, slows down. Learning to communicate your wins is not self-promotion. It is professional communication. This challenge is particularly common among immigrants. Many of us were raised in cultures where humility meant not drawing attention to yourself. I must say I still struggle with that. Where speaking about your accomplishments could be interpreted as pride. So we learned to step back, to deflect praise, to say things like, it was nothing, I just helped a little, it was the team. But in professional environments, silence is often misinterpreted. Silence can be interpreted as lack of confidence, lack of contribution, or lack of leadership, even when none of these things are true. So we don't need to abandon humility. We simply need to expand our understanding of it. You can be humble and visible. You can be grounded and confident. You can be gracious and still communicate your value clearly. Let me share something personal. When I first started working in educational research, I struggled with something very simple: introducing myself. Whenever we had visitors come to the office or when we visited schools, our team would introduce themselves. When it got to me, I would say something very brief. Hi, I'm Marian. I work on the research team, and that was it. Meanwhile, others would say things like, I'm leading the evaluation of our initiative, or I'm working on the data analysis for our partnership. They explained what they were doing, and it mattered, and why it mattered. And the difference was noticeable. It wasn't that I wasn't doing meaningful work. I was. but I wasn't communicating it. Looking back, I realized those introductions were not just small talk, they were opportunities. Opportunities to communicate my expertise, opportunities to explain my contribution, opportunities to build professional credibility. But I didn't know, and I didn't take those opportunities because no one had taught me that introducing myself is not about ego, it's about clarity. Every professional needs a clear way to explain who they are, what they do, and the value they bring. Not something rehearsed, not something artificial, just something clear and confident. Because if you cannot explain your value, people cannot understand it. And if they cannot understand it, they cannot remember it. Let me give you a simple workplace example. Imagine your team has just completed a project. Your manager may ask, so what did everyone work on? One person says, I helped with the project. Another person says, I analyzed the client feedback and I identified 3 changes that improved the final design. Both statements may describe the same level of effort, but the second statement communicates clear impact. That clarity changes how leaders perceive contribution, and perception matters in professional growth. So how do you talk about your wins without sounding like you are bragging? Here are 3 simple principles. Talk about impact, not effort. Leaders listen for results. Instead of saying, I really worked hard on that project, say that project reduced our response time by 30%. Or the changes we introduced improved customer satisfaction. Impact speaks louder than effort. Number 2, include others but don't erase yourself. You can acknowledge your team and still communicate your role. For example, you could say, our team successfully launched the initiative and I coordinated the cross-department work that made the rollout possible. You honor the team, but you also explained your contribution. That is not arrogance. That is clear collaboration. And number 3, practice saying your wins out loud. Confidence is not a personality trait. It's a practice skill. If you are not used to talking about your accomplishments, it will feel uncomfortable at first. That is normal. Start small. Write down 3 recent wins. Then practice describing them in 1 or 2 sentences. Clear, calm, direct. And over time, it becomes natural. If you are not sure how to say it, here is a simple structure you can use. Situation, action, result. For example, our team was struggling with response delays, so I designed the workflow and we reduced turnaround time by 25%. That's not bragging, that's explaining your work. You are not helping anyone by hiding your value. When you communicate your wins, when you speak up about your wins, leaders understand your strengths. Teams know how to collaborate with you. Mentors can advocate for you and organizations can place you where you can thrive. Visibility is not ego. Visibility is information, and your work deserves accurate information attached to it. Your work deserves a voice. Speak up. Your work deserves a voice, and that voice should be yours. Don't hide your wins. Name them, own them, share them. Not to impress others, but to express your value. Name them, own them, share them. Not to impress others, but to express your value. If this message spoke to you, don't just move on. Subscribe, like this video, and share it with another immigrant professional or another professional who needs to hear this reminder. Because when one of us learns how the system works, we all rise. And don't stop here. Watch our other conversations on negotiation, mental health, and don't struggle alone. Practical tools to help you grow, lead, and thrive in the workplace. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to grow, and you deserve to thrive. I will see you in the next video.